Okay guys, this is the second part of menu design or menu form creation. Last time I went over how the menu form is a layered form, and layered form meaning that it can go on top of another form. And this is mainly used for forms that are commonly used and need to be accessed in multiple forms throughout the application. And in this video you'll be seeing a new component that we have not used yet. It's called the compare component. And the compare component, basically the function that it's going to serve is to be able to differentiate between the two different account types, the employer account and the employee account, in the case of JOB24 application. And as you know, I've stated this many times, probably in every single video. I am not a developer, and I learned how to use Nest through taking apart the JOB24 application. The JOB24 application was available as a sample application along with Nest. And the reason I chose Nest was because it seemed to have a lot of potential, and that there were a lot of components and basic components that could be put together to form, bigger functions. And it was also free. That was a big part of it also. And as you can see right now, I am working on the events, and the best place to do this is the workflow window. The workflow window lets you visually map out a event page, and the way the event page helps you map it out is that the way the event page helps you out is by being able, the way the workflow page helps you out, is by having the events being able to be seen through the visual map. Sorry, I'm blanking here. And right now I am putting together the events for the compare component. And with the compare component, I'm going to link all 8 options that are available in the menu. Okay, so we'll be using the flow tool that is available in the workflow window, and you just use the flow tool to connect the component to other components, and you choose which event you want it to do. And in this case, I am doing a flow tool of remove. The event of remove with the flow tool for each of the components. And what that's basically going to do is it's going to alert the component if it's if it's not one account. If it's the employer account, it's going to remove the employee account options, and if it's the employee account, it's going to remove the employer account options. So the employer wouldn't be able to see like personal ads, because business owners wouldn't have personal ads, they would have business ads, and they wouldn't be able to see the they wouldn't be able to, like, when they general search or narrow search, they wouldn't be able to see the jobs available, because they're not looking for jobs, they're looking for employees. And the same case for employee account. When you log into it, when you're using an employee account, the compare component is going to remove the employer account options, which are business ads and general search and narrowed search finding employees. Okay, so as you see in the workflow window right now, I connected all the events that I need to for the compare component, and that's a lot easier to do on the workflow window as opposed to the UI window. I could have done it in the UI window, but it would have taken obviously a much longer time, because I would have had to individually click and find all 8 components that it's supposed to attach to and set it to that. And just like any other video, you'll be seeing me doing a lot of editing and saving and simulating. And right now I am simulating, and first I have to log on to my account that I have made for myself for these testing options. And then yeah, I'm just trying out, like, I'm logging into my 2 different accounts, the employer account and the employee account, and I'm seeing what happens when I click on the menu and if the right menu options are popping up. So basically, if the compare component is working and removing the correct components for the 2 different user accounts, the employer and the employee account. Okay. Yeah, let me just trying this out again after save. Okay. Narrowed search tab. Okay, everything looks good. It's searching for jobs and not employees, because this is a employee account. And we're back at the project sitemap because we're going to edit a previous form, and we just edited the find employment or account type so that it comes out correctly when you log out. Okay. All right. Okay. So you want to do as much simulations as you want. Basically, if you feel something is off, or if you're not sure about something, just go ahead and save and simulate. And whenever you change even a little thing, you want to keep saving and simulating if you're done with that specific form, or if you're done with that, obviously you don't have to save every single step, but if you want to test it, if like the whole sequence of events that you want to work, or for that part, or if the whole sequence of events is working correctly, if you want to see that happening, you want to save and simulate it, test it out. Okay, and now I am labeling, making a new form, and I just I'm labeling it. I'm labeling the new form, and previously I made the my page form just now, and now an error page form. And the error page and my page, pretty self-explanatory. My page, ER page. That's what I'm assuming ER page stands for, error page, because that's the type of function it does. And job search and job view, all these forms, and these forms are all necessary because the menu has to be taken there. The options that are available in the menu form, the layered menu form, they all have an event, or we have to set an event to them to take it to the correct forms, because that's what a menu form does. It's a navigation tool for the application. It has all these. It has a list of menu form options. Like, let's say you want to do a general search, a narrow search, a personal ad, sign out, stuff like that. You want forms. You want to set the events so that each option goes to the correct form. If you still don't know what I mean, that means, like, if let's say you're if you're on your computer and you click on the Windows tab, or the My Computer or whatever, and you click on the C drive. You want the C drive. You want that icon to take you to the C drive, and you don't want it to take you to, like, the external hard drive option. I hope that was a clear enough explanation or example. If not, always feel free to contact me. I'll try to clear it up for you guys. So the reason I label all of them is because I'm going to be setting the events, so the option menu takes you to all these different forms. And as you can see, job search, job narrow search, job nearby search, all these forms are going to, all these are different forms that are going to have to be accessed. And also, all these have to be available in order, all these are going to be completed eventually, and gonna put all the events in for all those. But for now, since we are working on the menu form, the layered menu form, we just have to create the form and name it so that we can set the events for the options that are available in the menu to the correct forms. And you can see on the project sitemap window that we're on right now that the menu form, since it is a layered form, it's gray. And now we are linking the pages together. So this makes it so that the events can be set from the menu form to go to all these different forms. And these are the forms that are available in the. These are all the forms that are available as an option to go to navigate to. And yeah, and the menu form will be available to go to from the main page and stuff. Just need to set that so from the main page to the menu so that we can access the menu page from the main page, but we'll be doing that later. And now I'm clicking on the options, and I'll be I will be setting each one, setting that, specifying the names a little bit, so that, although the IDs, so that I know better to which one is the business and which one, or the employer, and which one is the employee account. So as you saw, I put like, for things like narrow search, and there's two different types of narrow search. Putting it so that one of them has it specified in the ID that it's the employer account one, and the other one doesn't. Okay, and because the other one that doesn't is obviously going to be the employee account one, because it's just process of elimination, right? Two options. Okay, so I'm setting the events in the workflow so that the menu options the menu options are going to event to the correct forms to go to. And now since all the forms have been put in, they should all be in the workflow window, and I should just be able to like drag it in. Okay. Okay. Oh no. I should be able to drag that in, or I could do that in the UI design. But right now I'm setting the flow component so that it goes to it removes, and if it's different or some sort, and yeah, and I'm just making sure. Yeah, see, there's equals, and there's equal and different. Basically, equal meaning yes, this is the correct user account and you should be showing this form, and different being no, this is the incorrect one, you shouldn't be showing this one. Okay, because the different goes to remove and the empty goes to remove from session. So if I log into my account, and I'm not sure if this is the employee account, let me see, menu, and then it says nearby jobs. Yes, this is the employee account. And yeah, that was the simulator again. I just simulate whenever I add like a chain of events like that, because it's a good idea to do that so you can test it out. So as you can see, there's the compare type 1, link back, and all that stuff in the event. All the things that we've basically linked together in the workflow window. As you can see in the tap event one, you can see how I can set events for this if it's tapped. and I have to set the multiple events if it's tapped, because one of them has to remove and one of them has to show. So when you tap it, it's going to automatically remove the account that isn't and show the account that is, the information wise I mean. And I am also doing the events for each forms that will need to be shown. So right now this is list item, narrow jobs ID, and this one I'm putting a show and remove it. Show and yeah. Okay, so basically I have to do that for every option, and the reason that it's a good idea to do this on the UI design is just you should get used to doing it on the UI, because you can see you can just work without going to different windows. It might make things easier, and for some people, and some people might just like using the workflow window, but this way you can actually specify precisely instead of because you get to see all the options available. That's why you have more of like a assurance that you are using the right event. And although it is a little more work because you have to find each event and then click the right one and set apply it. Like just now, right now it wasn't showing the right events, so I had to go back. And then now I'm on the account option. Okay, what else? So basically for a little bit I'm just going to be constantly doing that. I'm just setting up the events for each form of the option on the menu. And that's what the menu design is. When you're making the menu design form, which is a layered form, you're going to be doing that a lot. You're going to be setting events for the options to reveal another page of the application, and you also want to set events so that the menu option can be seen at basically the majority of pages that are available on the application, because the menu form is it's a useful tool, and it should always be available to the users to have just for simple navigation, so they don't have to back all the way out and then like go through like a process just in order to get to a different result. They should be able to just back out all the way and get to their results as quickly as possible, and make their experience a little bit more convenient, and make it more user friendly that way. Making it just simple is better, right? And if it's simple and it works, that's good, and that's what Nest is about. Also, it's simple in that there's no code, and it's not brain dead, but it's you have to put a lot of determination in it. But it's simple in that you don't have to code, and you don't really have to. You can learn how to use the program if you just have a little determination and watch. Just observe how well everything is working. Observe carefully how all the other sample applications are working, and just like use common knowledge in a lot of things like image sizing, and I mean not just image sizing, component sizing, and making dimensions, and there's little menus to help you out there and stuff. And also you can see from the Windows, it's the help menu. The help menu on this, you can see there's a user guide, and in that user guide there's a tutorial. I think it's called Getting Started. That also helps in getting you that first experience of making an application. And if you just want to do something quick instead of studying a little bit and having some determination, if you just want to see quick results and you want to see if this really does make an application that functions, that has a basic function, then you want to make that tutorial application. At least that's what I did, and then I moved on to this, because the tutorial application showed me that hey, we can run these basic functions and we can also run these complex functions. It's just a matter of how much determination you have, and if you're willing to put in the time to learn how to use this program. And compared to other programs and compared to coding, this program is free. It's no code. It's time efficient, and component. I mean, not component creation, but what's the word? It takes much less time to do this than to learn how to code. And if you're thinking about learning to code to create application, then I'm sure you can put in a little determination into learning this software to make an application, or at least observe it to see like what kind of features it has and if it can actually do it. And that's what I did. At least I was thinking about going to like developing school and learning how to not developing school, but like somewhere like Code Academy, to learn how to code and make my own applications. But I wanted to get like my first feel on things, so I decided to find a platform which does codeless creation, which can like show me how components are working and how I can firsthand interact in making one without learning how to code at first, and then putting in that commitment. So I just put in a small amount of commitment, determination into learning how to nest, learning how to use Nest, not learning how to nest, learning how to use Nest, and creating an application. Yeah, I know that it can seem very confusing at first, and it can seem very overwhelming, and that there's so many properties, so much editing that you have to do. But that's the same with any other application that you're gonna make by using code. You're gonna be putting in countless hours of code, and you're gonna have to learn a lot of, you know, commands that are, you know, although available on the internet if you look it up, but commands that you will have to understand what they do, and you have to put that all in and then simulate it on a different software of sort than you are using to create your application, most likely. Okay, this video is going to be it's going to be a lot shorter than the previous video, because this one, I mean, the previous video was the first part of the menu design form, and it was basically that was the majority, because getting the whole menu design, beginning the whole menu design at the beginning, at the beginning of the whole menu design, it's probably the hardest, because you have to set out like how you want your menu to look. So maybe it's a better idea for you to visualize and create a plan of how the menu is going to work before you go ahead and create the menu, so that you can spend less time on it. And remember, guys, the reason I'm making this video isn't because I'm so good at creating applications and I want to show you guys, hey, this is all you need to know, but more like I want you guys to look at my videos and learn from it what you can as quickly as you can, so that you don't have to spend as much time as I did learning how to use Nest. And although it was a good experience for me, although it was a very good experience for me, I feel that it shouldn't have taken as much time as it did, and I was just struggling. And yeah, and maybe it's the process, the method I used to learn how to create applications, but I was struggling, and I wanted to create a video so other people don't have to struggle as much, because I was struggling from when I was pulling apart the sample job, because I didn't know how to, like, you know, which part should I learn first and stuff like that. Anyways, as you saw me do, I just I'm linking the menu form to many of the forms that are going to be available on the application, and that's all being done with the link tool, and I'm making the forms and linking them on the project sitemap. Well, I'm thinking that's all for this menu option window, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Okay, just I'm going to be doing a little bit of things, and yeah, I'm going to be doing a little bit, and I'm done. Thanks.